Okay, so let's talk about another interesting element for a character's face, which will be war paint. So war paints are quite simple too. So let's just start in. Create a fill layer. Let's give it a color which we want. Maybe blue or red. Add a black mask. Add a paint. Let's go to our brushes. Pick in basic hard. And I'm gonna do the same thing as we did with a tattoo. Just go in and draw where I feel his war paint should be. We can always erase it and create it again. So let's say I want something like this. All right, so once we painted that in, let's go to our layers again, our mask, and on top of our paint layer, add a filter, add a warp. The more intense I make, the more broken our borders will get. So let's keep it somewhere around here. And that is a start of our war paint. Another thing that we want to do is add a generator, add a dirt generator, and this will be multiplied. So it's taking away our pores, not pores, but it's breaking our paint according to the tertiary detail that we have. So I'm just going to play with my dirt levels to decrease it down because we don't want it to be that much. We do want some of the tertiary information to be shown, but not that extreme. Let's play with the contrast a little. Maybe somewhere around here. Again, it's pretty non-destructive. We can always change it. Okay, so let's say this is the starting of our war paint. Now we want to create an anchor point. This will be war paint. I'll create a fill layer, add a black mask, add a paint, add a fill, and we will use an anchor point which will be war paint, and I'll add a fill. Go to my procedurals, plug in cloud, bring this guy in, make it multiply, and change my balance to not get it everywhere. Change my tiling, something like this. Change my balance again. And now I'm gonna use the layer below as a starting point for my color, and I'm gonna make that a little darker so I have more variation in my war paint. This is a bit too less, so let's go in our cloud, change the balance, and decrease the breakup a little bit more. Likewise, I can always change this main color, or I can make it blue. But make sure to replace your upper layer's color with something which belongs in the same hue as the bottom layer, but a little bit darker or lighter. Let's go in, change my balance again. Alright, so that's it for our war paint, but it does have one more layer that we should cover in. So right now we made it break up a bit more on the tertiary details. But one more thing, if you notice on war paint or any paint on face in general, they usually get broken up from the cavity of your pores. So let's go in and add that. First, I'm gonna make this guy a little less intense. Okay, and one more thing, we wanna add a height, just a slight bit of height on this guy. Let's keep it at 0 for now. So I'll group these guys together, and this will be our war paint. I'll add one more mask on our main group, which consists of these two paint layers. And this one, I'll add a fill, which will be our cavity map that we brought in from ZBrush. And as soon as I add it, you can see it's taking away our paint from the cavities. Let's add a level. Change our cavity because we don't want it to take away that much. Probably something like this. I kinda don't like this color, so let me just change it to a red war paint, and the next tone will be that, just a slight bit darker, not too much. Okay, kinda better. So now we have that, we are taking away from the cavity, but again, it's doing a lot more than what we want it to. So to fix it, I'm going to my levels, adding a paint, making it divide, which is right here. And when I paint in black, it's gonna take away our cavity. When I paint in white, it's gonna bring it back. So let's zoom out, press 4, make it black, draw it everywhere, zoom in and selectively paint in these cavity breakups of our war paint. And now, since we have that set up, let's go to our main layer and add height on it, just a slight bit. So we have our war paint done. Same as everything that we have done so far, and that's something we have been doing so much. Everything we have made is non-destructive. So let's say we want to change the paint. Let's go in, turn off this one for a while, and same for our cavity. Let's zoom out so I can see everything. Let's go to my main war paint layer. I should name these, but I don't usually. So I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna paint in another kind of war paint, and it's gonna follow all the same system that we have built so far. So I can have anything I want, maybe a divide sign for some reason, I don't know why, or a proper war paint. That's how it should have been. Maybe just the same thing which we had. It took me a really long time to decide it. But you do get the point. We can always change what we had because everything is mostly made non-destructive. And we can always tweak these guys by hand. So let's make sure my pen pressure is on for my opacity. And now I can easily and better paint these guys. Okay, so that's how you add war paint on your character. Now to end up our interacting things to add in our character, let's talk about wounds in the next video.